From running on water to throwing needles, these monks are masters at martial arts. Here are 10 reasons why real-life Shaolin monks are totally awesome. Training starts young. Shaolin monks have to get into it fast. That means children who could kick your butt. You can't simply start training to become a kung fu master at the age of 40. Shaolin monks begin training as young as the age of 5. Recent footage shows young boys who are only between 6 and 7 years old twisting their bodies into incredible contortions and exhibiting amazing feats of strength. These young children are stronger than most grown adults. They can twist their bodies, do splits, and they are even seen wrapping themselves around tree trunks in unusual ways. And while they do appear to be in incredible pain, they will eventually grow into hardened Shaolin monks. These warrior children can be found at the Shaolin Temple in the Henan province of China, according to the Daily Mail. The training is definitely tough, but this is what it takes to turn young boys into Shaolin masters. According to one of their instructors, after enduring years of brutal training, the young boys turn into men with strong characters. Throwing needles through glass. I thought this was impossible, a magic trick, or some kind of movie effect. How much discipline and strength would it take to do this? Shaolin monks can throw a needle straight through a pane of glass like a bullet. Recent footage captured Shaolin monk Feng Fei throwing a needle through a pane of glass with such expert strength and precision that it popped the balloon on the other side. If you think this is easy, you can try it for yourself, though be careful of a ricochet. It takes an incredible amount of discipline, speed, and strength to make such a precision throw. This was captured in a video produced by the slow-mo guys for YouTube, and the slow-motion shots of the Shaolin monks' tricks are incredible. While glass is very hard to break in the first place, it's actually quite easy once it has been cracked. The problem is cracking the glass. The way this works is that the Shaolin monk throws the needle so hard that it remains rigid on impact, cracking the glass and having enough force to continue all the way through to the other side, thereby popping the balloon. Still, even knowing the science behind it does not make the feat any easier. Pretty impressive, right? Would you want to do this? Let me know in the comments below. Animal flexibility. It's not just strength. Any bodybuilder has that. But Shaolin monks are so incredible in their amazing flexibility. These monks have an incredible tolerance for pain and go through rigorous training to be as flexible as possible. This can be witnessed firsthand in any of their live performances that they hold all over the world. This is what gives Shaolin monks that worldwide reputation for being the ultimate Buddhist warriors. In fact, Shaolin monks have such incredible acrobatics that they can easily show up even Cirque du Soleil. They can balance, stretch their limbs, and do all kinds of bizarre feats of flexibility and agility. Shaolin monks train using up to about 36 weapons, and each monk chooses 2 types of animal movements to specialize in. This makes each of them unique in what movements they make, allowing some monks to move in vastly different ways than their fellow monks. This is how the Shaolin monks have managed to win so many awards in international competitions as acrobatic superstars. They have a special troupe with over 200 members, and they have performed in over 40 different countries. The show is known as Shaolin Zen Kung Fu and Puyang Acrobatic Spectacular. Intense training. Perhaps the simplest explanation for what makes Shaolin monks so amazing is their hardcore training. Shaolin monks start training from an incredibly young age and then continue training every day throughout their entire lives. And they don't just do one training style. Shaolin monks train in various disciplines to master all kinds of different moves. They train in Kung Fu, they do hours of mindfulness and meditation, and they develop their gymnastic skills and other physical abilities through daily training. Shaolin monks train their bones, their joints, their breath, their minds, their internal organs, and literally every part of their body to work together to overcome the limits of what other people see as human ability. All this hardcore training allows Shaolin monks to be stronger and more flexible than the average human. And as much as foreigners would love to become a Shaolin master, it's simply not realistic. Shaolin monks wake up at around 5 o'clock in the morning and train rigorously throughout the day, stopping only for meals and a brief resting time. I don't know too many people with this much discipline, nor do I know many people willing to abandon social life, family, and career to become a monk. Running on water. There is nothing more impressive than literally running on water. I couldn't do it. I'm willing to bet you can't do it. But in 2015, a Chinese Shaolin monk ran on water for a consecutive 125 meters, breaking his own record by 5 meters, according to the Daily Mail. The monk's name is Shi Li Lang, and he used 200 floating plywood planks to assist him in running on water to cross a river. He did it in the river of China's Xuanzhou city in front of a large audience of excited onlookers. And while he did not literally run across the surface of the water, he did skip across 200 thin plywood boards floating on the water's surface. If you think this is easy, you are completely out of your mind. Running across floating planks of wood requires immense balance, concentration, and speed. The moment any weight is put onto one of the pieces of wood, the wood sinks and you go down with it. The monk skips across the planks like a rock skipping across the surface of the water. Even a fraction of a second too fast, too heavy, or too slow, and he would have fallen into the river. So yeah, this is one of the most incredible feats any Shaolin monk or human being has ever done, and it's just one more reason why they, and us as humans, are so incredible. Is this the most amazing human feat that you've ever heard of? I think so. Let me know your opinion. Write a comment down below and tell me what you think. Anyone can do it. But here's the thing, you can learn to walk on water. It does not take any special inherent abilities to become a Shaolin monk. Literally anybody can become one of these unique masters. There is no better example of this than Britain's only Shaolin monk, a man named Matthew Ammett. He was interested in martial arts as a child and left school at the age of 16 to begin training. He flew to China and continued to train for 4 years, waking up every day at 5:30 a.m. to run up mountains, crawl backwards on his hands and knees, stand on his head for hours, and all the other rigorous training exercises of the Shaolin warriors. Out of the 168 hours in the week, Matthew would sleep about 8 hours a day and spend the rest of the time training. He can even do the one-finger handstand. The point is that Shaolin monks can be anybody, and this is what makes the practice so amazing. If you have a love for martial arts and peace of mind, you yourself can train to become a master of your own body and do the one-finger handstand. What would it take for you to give it all up and become a Shaolin monk? Let me know in the comments below. Stay relaxed. It's not training the body, it's training the mind to will the body. Shaolin monks are amazing in their ability to stay relaxed. They practice a form of Buddhism that allows them to keep their mind calm and focused in any situation. They maintain a peaceful mind all throughout their meditation, reaching a point of enlightenment that almost none of us will ever achieve in our lifetimes. When one Shaolin monk was asked in an interview how he likes to relax, he replied that he enjoys climbing about 5,000 steps up a mountain on all fours like a dog, then relaxing and meditating in a small cave at the top of the mountain. Staying relaxed is a key part of life as a Shaolin monk. By practicing discipline, monks are able to control their bodies and their minds in a way almost foreign to the rest of us. Whereas most people would think of exercise and crawling up a mountain on their hands and knees as work, Shaolin monks do this to relax. It's this immense concentration that allows them to break stones, stand on a single finger, and live a peaceful life. All the marathons. For many of us, running a single marathon is a huge life event. Just finishing your local marathon will earn praise and respect from your peers. Many people train months and even years just to run a single marathon. But what about the monk who ran 1,000 marathons? In his quest for enlightenment, this legendary monk named Genshin Fujinami put himself through an excruciating endurance challenge, going 1,000 days of long-distance running. And he is not the only one. This monk is part of a group of marathon monks who live around Kyoto, Japan. They live on Mount Hiei and run 1,000 marathons in 1,000 days to try and reach enlightenment. Apparently, the monks who complete this challenge become revered as human Buddhas or living saints. But this is not a common feat. It's actually incredibly rare that a monk from the order will embark on the 1,000-day challenge, and it is even rarer that a monk will complete it. According to a report by The Guardian, only 46 men have managed it in the last 130 years. And while these monks are not technically Shaolin monks, it's this kind of dedication that makes monks all over the world amazing and almost superhuman. Could you run 1 marathon? What about 2? How crazy do you have to be to do 1,000? Let me know in the comments below. The Shaolin Temple. Shaolin monks would certainly be less amazing if it weren't for their famous Shaolin Temple. It would be like Batman not having a Batcave. Shaolin monks become the enlightened warriors they are by training rigorously for years at their sacred temple, known plainly as the Shaolin Temple. It was originally founded in 495 and was built in the early 5th century as the house of a Taoist reformer. It took almost a century after the persecution of Taoism for the monastery to become occupied by Buddhists. And while at first there was nothing special about the Shaolin Monastery, it quickly changed around the year 530 when the temple was visited by the famous Indian monk Bodhidharma. He taught the local Chinese monks how to improve their skills on meditation and how to better maintain their physical health, and this eventually led to the Shaolin monks we know today. However, this is rarely mentioned because it's a sore point with China that their famous monks were first taught by an Indian. History has its quirks like that, but what do you think is the most interesting thing about Shaolin monks? Speak up in the comments below after you remember to hit the subscribe button. There are always new videos coming out with incredible facts like these, and you don't want to miss it. Martial arts pros. Shaolin monks would never have become famous if it were not for their masterful kung fu skills. Shaolin monks are masters of martial arts. They train using at least 36 weapons, including sharp spears and wooden staves, and they are able to use their kung fu powers to break bricks on their heads and to fly through the air as if by magic. There are actually 72 Shaolin martial arts training methods. These incorporate many styles from different types of kung fu. They use kicks, blocks, and punches, but what is really unique about the Shaolin Kung Fu is the intense beauty of how it is performed. It's more of a dance than a display of fighting. You can witness the unreal beauty of Shaolin martial arts in one of their many worldwide performances, though whether a Shaolin warrior could stack up against the best trained UFC fighter is still a raging debate. What do you think? The best Shaolin monk against a top UFC fighter? Who would win? And remember, if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you next time for another awesome video.